What else have you been up to lately? Have you been having any fun lately in Buffalo?
Not too much. Honestly, last night I was so fucking bored. I just decided to go for a drive in the crazy fucking rainstorm. Drove through the city, went out to Niagara Falls, and then just kind of cruised back. And I saw the stadium lights on at Salins Field.
Yeah, that's a cool sight to be seen.
I'm
I drove
like,
by it for the
yeah.
first time.
I'm like, why is it so bright over there? And then the closer I got, I saw the stadium. I'm like, holy shit. I used to
Yeah.
love going there when I was a kid, man. That was so fun.
Oh yeah, talking to Eric about Conehead and stuff, it makes you miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a couple pictures of Conehead wearing like Toronto Blue Jays stuff. I think they still have at least some like box office people, so it's nice to know he's working. At least he's there. But yeah, you can see from the 190, you can see like cardboard cutouts in the outfield and stuff, and the lights look almost brighter, like they have new lights or something.
It does, dude. It looks pretty intense.
I was reading a news story on it, I think Buffalo News or something, but some guy lives up in one of those buildings, and he said he's going to have like friends over, but he's like, yeah, I've already got too many friends coming over for all the games. For like the Red Sox and the Yankees and stuff. He's like, yeah, they're out. But then I just kind of thinking about it. I was like, damn, those guys are going to be here, those Red Sox and Yankees and
Yeah.
stuff. They probably won't be able to go out. They probably would sneak out, though. Players
be
would probably be
surprised.
getting out,
Yeah, I wouldn't be
getting
surprised.
down.
I remember going there when I was a kid, and it was always fucking packed. Sold out seats. This is when like the Bisons were like one of the best minor league teams too. I want to say it was
Daryl
when
Strawberry was here one time.
Yeah, I
this isn't Daryl Strawberry. I didn't point to him. This is Sheriff John Brown.
I want to say we were the farm team for the Indians at the time. Back when I used to go.
Yeah, Cleveland Indians.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it changed to
I think we're the Mets now,
the Mets.
which is my brother's favorite team. So I kind of follow them a little bit.
Yeah, I remember
Used to.
they had green and white uniforms for a minute. They had cool hats.
Yeah.
I definitely had a green Bison's hat for a minute.
Yeah, they were definitely awesome. Bisons were definitely awesome.
Old Bison's gear is sick.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some really cool vintage, like super corny Buffalo Bison stuff out there.
Remember getting like Buster Bison's autograph.
You did not get Buster Bison's
like
autograph.
had to, right?
And everybody becomes a fan of baseball for that day. I didn't even play baseball, but for that day, I was a baseball guy, and I'm still like that. We went to a Pirates game with my buddy Matty and a bunch of guys like a year and a half ago for his little stag thing. And we went to a Pirates game in Pittsburgh. Pirates game, Pittsburgh. And I was like a little kid. I was like a little boy running around. I got a cap. I got an official Pirates cap. I had my shirt unbuttoned. I had my peanuts.
The Bison Stadium has to be one of the biggest minor league stadiums, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be. I can remember going to my cousin's games and was always so pissed because I love to compete. And then it's going to my cousin's game and he leaves to go put his uniform on with his friends.
Yeah, that's
and
hard.
I'm over here kicking in the dirt, looking for something to play with, asking the coach if I could have a ball and getting yelled at and stuff. It's my baseball career.
What's your favorite baseball team, even though you don't really follow it too much?
I mean, yeah, I guess I like the Red Sox because I just always sort of didn't like the Yankees based on
the Irish thing, huh?
I guess. I don't know. I had some family that were Red Sox fans. I got family that are Cubs fans.
Baseball's it's hard to follow because it's hard to watch. It's fun to play, but it's like the most boring sport to watch.
I get excited at seeing guys like come up. I like seeing these guys come out of nowhere. It's one thing about baseball that it's so almost primitive in a way that I like to see guys come out of nowhere. I just saw some guy for the Padres. I don't even know his name, but he looks like a star. He looks like he'll be the next one to get paid gazillion dollars over 30 years.
Yeah,
But we were just talking about. I feel as though I saw a story about not Cole Hamels, but Garrett Cole, pitcher, I think for the Yankees, store-bought. He touched his hat and it like stuck, and that would mean like pine tar. And I was sending it to my buddies, and I'm just like, at what point are they just gonna let them use pine tar? A team just used technology and video and like lights and buzzers and all these things to cheat to win the World Series. Why are we talking about pine tar?
Yeah.
And they do all the signals and stuff. And I played football, as I've said many times on this podcast, but there's signaling in the old way of football. But in the NFL, they have microphones right in the helmets. And in college, you see all the different signs and things like that on the sideline because they're doing different ways of trying to sign. Well, in baseball, it's kind of like if there's a base runner on, why not have him wear a microphone in his helmet
Yeah,
for the baseline signs? And if there's a pitcher, why not let him wear an AirPod? Like, these AirPods are crazy. They have different modes. I guess you'd have to have some sort of receiver, but I'm sure MLB baseball could figure out a way to make it like okay. So then it's like, okay, then everybody has technology. All the coaches can be on the same page. They can all talk to each other. It's like, I don't know. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make that sport more exciting.
Somehow. And then that even brings up, you could even have people pay more to listen to it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, they're getting all the secrets out. Well, it's like everybody, if everybody knows all the secrets, then it's baseball again, right?
Right?
It's even.
Why not, man?
I don't know. I never played. It looks fun. I love the team stuff.
It's fun. It's
I love
super fun
uniforms and branding and logos and.
It's fun to play, but it's
like I went to
a
a Rays game versus the Red Sox, and I was a Red Sox fan, but like I left feeling like a Rays fan just because I was there. I bought a hat that time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was fun though.
I like the
We were
Rays,
on SportsCenter.
Diamondbacks.
Not on, but our section, like you could see us pixelated because a guy hit a homer and it was like a
That's
section
cool.
over. Yeah, you could
That's
definitely
cool.
see it was us. You couldn't really see. I just had like a blue T-shirt on, so it wasn't, but you could see us. My brother had a Celtics shirt on.
That's legit. Seattle Mariners were my favorite team. They were my favorite team. Ken Griffey Jr. was my favorite player.
Yeah, he was.
He was cool to watch. Because he was hitting homers, and he wasn't jacked like fucking McGuire and Bonds and shit. Like,
Yeah, he was just smooth.
just a normal dude, and he was just good, man. And
That documentary on McGuire and Sammy Sosa is awesome.
I have to watch it. I don't think I've seen it.
I watched that. I forgot about it until you just mentioned those names. That was worth a watch. I think it's just a one-parter,
Yeah.
but it's definitely brings up nostalgia of being 12 years old when I feel like we were pretty young when that happened, but I remember it vividly.
Oh, I remember it too. I remember when McGuire was hit 70, and it was like the biggest thing.
And it was such a crazy race till the end. You forget how close it was till the end. They go right down to like the last night of the season. It's crazy.
And then he drills that fucking homer. Let's take a turn here. You said you wanted to talk a little music.
Yeah.
What you listening to?
I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I use YouTube primarily for the algorithm. We'll call this section algorithm. Algorithm.
I like that. Let's
I've
do
been
that.
thinking about that. I forgot till right now. Algorithm. Because it's the different rhythm. It's the rhythm of the music, baby. So I use YouTube a lot to find live shows or different versions of tracks played in different areas.
That's where I listen to most of my music from is YouTube.
It's owned by Google, so once you get your algorithm going. If you've like been a Pandora head, I use Apple Music to play like on-demand stuff, like when I know it's exactly what I want to listen to. Excuse me. I'll use Apple Music, but if I'm just hanging out and I'm not driving or doing anything, I'll just use YouTube. And I came across Alice in Chains Unplugged from back in the 90s. And I didn't know anything about Lane Staley. And my brother listened to a lot of grunge and stuff. I listened to a lot of Nirvana. And to be honest, what probably brought me to that through the algorithm was I was listening to Post Malone's Nirvana set. He did a set recently on like a live stream covering all Nirvana songs with Travis Barker and some other guy.
Yeah.
And he does an awesome job. Post Malone's a lot more talented than people give him credit for. Like, you see him, and older people see him, and they think he's just an idiot. But, like, he's an incredible musician. And he was on Joe Rogan's podcast for a second time recently. It's
I
a
think
pretty
within
good
the past
interview.
couple weeks he was on, yeah.
Yeah, and he does a Nirvana set that was good, and I think that's what kind of brought me to the Alice in Chains Unplugged set. But Lane Staley, I always thought they were like a hair band because the other guy has long hair and then someone else has long hair, and I was like, who is this guy? And then I read up about him, and I was watching another YouTube video on how Lane Staley like lost his like mind after his like girlfriend and drug friend died. They had broken up, and after that he just like went AWOL and like wouldn't talk to the band and stuff. And they thought he had like gangrene on his arm.
Oh my
And
God.
like, yeah, but that set, that Unplugged set, Alice in Chains, Lane Staley's got like pink hair and he's got these like black round sunglasses and just long black sleeves, and it's so like 2020, the vibe and the music and the feels. And he reminds me a lot of this kid Lil Peep, who is a rapper, like a Zanny rapper that came out a couple years ago. He died. He was like, you could tell like this kid's not gonna make it very long. He's just constantly talking about drugs and shit. But it's weird how that rock star life still has its appeal, but that whole culture and that style, I don't know, it's still coming into the mix with like those round sunglasses are kind of coming back in like the 90s, and it's just cool. I don't know. I like to see stuff kind of retextualized.
The decades usually filter themselves back in.
Yeah, that was good. On the topic of retextualize, I saw Kanye tweeting he's going to be working with The Gap. So he's doing a bunch of creative stuff. If you go on his Twitter, he's got these pictures like really high up of these sneakers. He's just got mad sneakers and footwear. Looks like the footwear looks sick. I mean, everything the guy does is good. I'm biased again. I fuck with Kanye, but they're doing stuff with The Gap, and he retweeted an old YouTube from some random person's YouTube channel of a Gap ad from maybe mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And he tweeted that, so it got obviously retweeted and favorited like gazillion times. But I just thought that was so cool that he used an old ad, because that's like what we've been talking about doing. And like, I think in today's day and age, you can reuse old stuff. It doesn't need to be always new. You can always reuse and recycle content from like older things. I thought that was such a cool thing to do, that like people don't really recognize. But for me, that was interesting. What have you been listening to anything new? Because I've got one for you to check out, because I know you liked you kind of liked harder music than I did growing up. At least you played in a band and stuff.
Yeah. Nothing new really. When I was younger, all I would listen to was punk rock and metal. Then once I got into snowboarding, I listened to a lot of EDM. Just something about snowboarding and listening to that where you actually feel like you're in, I don't know, where you feel like you're actually in like a snowboarding movie or video or something, and you're kind of carving to the music, and it's awesome.
Another planet.
Yeah, I was actually I watched a Beatles documentary over the weekend while I was doing some school stuff.
What's it called?
It was just random shit on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Like cut up like fan made shit.
Yeah,
So it didn't
YouTube
really have
is
a name.
great. YouTube has got the best content.
Yeah, like watching Paul McCartney interviews and shit.
It's like
and-
300 views on it, but it's like great.
Yeah, right? It's like a hidden gem. But I like watching Paul McCartney interviews. I love Paul McCartney.
There's a lot of good interviews. I was watching old Lane Staley footage. Like there's 90s like VCR footage that people will upload. And on YouTube, that algorithm will take it to you. Like I started looking up Lane Staley stuff, and then there'll be like guys like us that made this video. But then under that one, there's like 90s footage. I also was getting into some old Tool, dude. I don't know if you ever listened to Tool at all, but
Maynard James Keenan.
my brother listened to him back in the day. But dude, I found this remastered set from, I don't know, like 1993, and he's got on this like almost like red itchy underwear one piece onesie
He used to wear weird shit. Yep.
with the mohawk.
And then he used to sing in his fucking underwear, just like whitey tighties and shit.
Dude, like,
There's a video of a fan rushing the stage.
he's just a Mohican, like, just wild-eyed, crazy person.
A lot of the times he wouldn't even like look to the crowd when he was singing.
No.
He would feel weird. But then there's another time where this fan rushes the stage, and then Maynard James Keenan gets him in like a fucking submission, and he's got him in a submission like on his back, and he's still singing the song, and he's like, "Fuck this dude up." It was
I'm
so
gonna have to
funny,
look
dude.
that up,
So
dude.
funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of old Tool that I got into over the weekend.
I like a Perfect Circle. the
Yeah,
other
me
band he
too. That
in.
was another one. There was quite a bit. Is he involved in that?
Yeah, he's the lead singer of that.
Okay, because I thought it was him, but I wasn't sure if it was him.
Yeah.
And honestly, my brother listened to him too later on, and I always like thought of the bald guy, but I didn't think of him.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of that too. They played like several like Jimmy Kimmel shows and like late night sets.
Yeah.
Those were awesome.
Perfect Circle's good.
The Alice in Chains Unplugged was awesome. The crazy one I wanted to tell you to look up. Oh, quickly, my cousin Riley rides motorcycles, and he told me a quick story. Firstly, he had this like cool setup in his helmet that like hooks up Bluetooth to his phone, and he had speakers on the inside of his helmet and a microphone. So he could like ride and talk.
Yeah,
And, like
they have
that's
those,
just
yeah.
crazy. I couldn't believe it.
If
I
you
had
see
written
it-
about the Siphon sound rap for work before, but he had like a even better setup.
Yeah, if you see a lot of the dudes on the cruisers that got their girls on the back, whatever, they're both wearing helmets. A lot of the times they have microphones on it so they can talk.
They're
back and
just
forth.
chatting about whether they're gonna bang on the next picnic table.
Yeah, right.
Just driving around the countryside
Oh,
with
yeah.
your woman on the back, just humming it.
Yeah, that should. That's
There was
kind
a
of funny
big
seeing
tubby
that.
girl on the back of a motorcycle the other day, and I was sitting in my car with my girl, and the guy like revved it real hard, and I was just like, yeah, he's just getting her warmed up.
Yeah, I love the South Park episode where they got the bikers that come in and they're like, they make the bike sounds themselves. They go, "Bruh, bruh, 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 bruh," and like as they ride, they're
Yeah.
making the sound, dude. It's so fucking funny.
Shit. The one I wanted to tell you about, it's SKYND, okay?
Skinned. Never heard of them.
Their music, I think you'd like it for snowboarding, especially nightboarding. I don't know if that happens, but the
Yeah.
music is absolutely like uncomfortably metal, but like horror rock.
Okay.
Like the video's got like this chick like clown. You almost wonder if it's like a transgender something. Because like there's a male singer and a female singer, but in the videos they're all really trippy and crazy and have like really stroby effects, and it's really dark. One's got like, basically it goes through the whole video and it's like super subliminally like saying like a lot of weird things. And let me preface, don't show this to the kids. This isn't kids music. I even waited and thought about sending it to my brother because I was like, I wonder if he'd like dig it or not. Because it's like the beat and the rhythm are like awesome. It's like a mix of like EDM, metal, and like, I don't know, just like circus.
Okay.
But the lyrics are messed up. Like the lyrics are horror, like almost like comedically horror. So check it out, Skinned.
I'll definitely.
I was listening to them driving around the countryside, and they just got me in the mood to make a movie. Like all their songs are just like crazy. They just put you in that freaking weird place.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out. I love checking out new music.
It'd be good for Borden and also for like a Halloween short. We could make like a scary Halloween short.
We're gonna have to do a Halloween short for sure.
Have you ever seen? Let's switch to Watchin'.
I was gonna say that's our last thing on the episode today is what you washing, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time talking about these shitty employees at Chipotle. I was going to tell the story, but because I basically quit my restaurant job to avoid toxicity, I'm not even going to tell the story.
Don't
but
even
it was
do
a
it,
fucking
dude.
joke. Sheridan, Chipotle, usually on their game. I got fucked there the other day. But that's all I'm going to freaking say about it.
Frickin'.
Well, I'm not going to waste my time because I already wasted enough of my time. But I'm looking forward to getting Chipotle again because it's a
Yeah.
great product and it's great food. So yeah, what you watching? I just thought of one because we were talking, and I forgot it already. So what do you got?
So I rewatched The Boys season 1. Season 2's coming out in September. The Boys is fucking awesome.
Is it?
Awesome show. It's Amazon Prime original. So they kind of like make fun of the Justice League. They got a Superman character. It's called Homelander.
Homelander.
And he wears like, the U.S. flag as his cape and everything. Then they got, a Wonder Woman character. They got a Flash character
But
called
they're like
K-Train.
rip-offs?
Kind of like rip-offs, but they do it in a different way to where like these superheroes are corrupt. They're not, all good all the time.
That's
like,
funny. So
it's
they
like,
have like they're human.
they know
in a
who
way.
they are. They know they have powers, and they know they're better than the average person at like everything. Especially Homelander. He's fucking intense.
Homelander. World Ender.
I just love that name, Homelander, because it's so perfect.
It's like World Ender in Rick and Morty. Oh,
Yeah.
Rick and Morty got canceled.
Did it really?
Well, some crazy shit. He was like made some crazy video in the past of him like raping a baby. But
Oh,
it's like
shit.
a baby doll and it's uncomfortable because his like butt is out.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, super weird. So I think they're like getting dragged, which hey, I'm all for like I don't know. I don't want freaking weird people making stuff, even if it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather have good people making stuff and being famous.
Yeah, that's weird as hell.
Yeah, we'll have to look more into it. But going back to The Boys, I don't want to get off topic. So it's almost like is it made by DC?
I don't think it's DC. No, I'm not sure. It might be Dark Horse or something. I'm not positive who does The Boys. I have to look
So
at it.
it's actually
But
like
it's an actual comic. It is an actual
Okay.
comic, and then they made a series out of it, and it's awesome. Like they don't hold back, dude. Like they do not hold back. They got this character. He's called the Deep, so he's like a ripoff of Aquaman,
yeah,
and
the
like
deep.
and he's just fucked up. Like in the beginning of the series, like, he does something really fucked up to one of the other superheroes that they just recruited to join the Seven. And the Seven's pretty much the Justice League. There's always like 7 superheroes, and then they recruited her, and the Deep, like, I don't even want to ruin it. You just have to watch it. The Deep does some fucked up shit to her in the beginning, but there's a really funny part where he tries to rescue a dolphin from Ocean Land, is what it's called. It's supposed to be like the ripoff of SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And he's saving this dolphin, and this dolphin's in the dangling from, like, he's got like this white U-Haul van. This dolphin's dangling in the back, dude, and to keep the dolphin wet, he's got a little spray bottle, like what you use to water plants, and he's like spraying it down. Like, dude, it's the funniest thing. But he can like talk to the animals, and then he gets cut off by like cops or whatever. They find him, slams on the brakes. The dolphin goes flying through the fucking windshield. All right, and as it's going by him in slow motion, it's like like, and then it lands on the ground, and then this garbage truck comes and fucking runs over it. And as bad as that sounds, you can tell the dolphin's fake or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the way the Deep does his shit. Like, you hate him in the beginning, then you kind of sympathize, you feel sorry for him, and then you kind of hate him again. It's funny. It's just a really good show. And then I decided to watch Jurassic Park because they got all of them on Netflix right now, the original 3. Obviously, the third one is fucking horse shit with William H. Macy. He's an awesome actor, but that movie was fucking terrible. But the thing that gets me is, why is the first Jurassic Park still the best one? Even with the advancements they have in CGI and everything, it's just that first one is fucking incredible.
I think because it was so true to the time. I think it was so like it was primitive enough that it seemed still impossible, but it was like done in a way that made it seem like it would be possible in the not so distant future. And now we're in just such a time that it seems like it could be possible and that we fuck it up somehow.
They did a lot more practical too.
Yeah.
Making the giant T-Rex, making the raptor suits and all that shit.
Well, have you been to Universal Studios?
I haven't been to Universal. I've only been to Disney World down there.
They had,
I'd much rather go to Universal.
yeah, I went to Islands of Adventure, I think.
And they
but
got
I think I went to Universal before.
They had the Jurassic Park ride, right?
I don't know. I think so. But I remember vividly the Jaws ride. And the Jaws ride.
They don't have it anymore. They got rid of it.
Yeah, that's so crazy. It was such an amazing.
I think that's where I forgot what they put there instead. Maybe like Harry Potter World or some shit.
They have just such an amazing, almost like a tour of what a movie is like. And like they built the set.
That's what a lot of that is, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how music or movies used to be. And that's just cool to me. I know we've moved to watching, but technically
It still falls in this category.
I was
for
watching. I got into also like 6 consecutive Blink 182 videos recently, and like they're great.
Sure. They're fucking hilarious, dude.
Adam's song, the video for Adam's song.
It's a good video. I like how they did with all the pictures and all that
Dude,
shit.
they go into the picture, and then in the picture they zoom in further, and it's like Adam's like their dead friend that's like off to the side, and he's there for every picture. Check out that Adam's song video.
So
that's
that's,
a great video.
Tom DeLonge, Mark Hoppus. I think it was Mark's sister's boyfriend was Adam. He wrote a suicide note. She gave it to Mark. Then he wrote a song.
Yeah, me and my girl were watching, and we were talking about like it was one of my first bands. My brother got me a shirt from Hot Topic. It was like that bunny rabbit on the front.
Yep.
And I had that album on CD, and it was like my favorite first band. And I always liked Mark better because I don't know why. I just thought he was like funnier. And she was like, like, what's the other one? Tom? She's like,
Tom
Tom
DeLonge.
was like the good looking one, so everyone liked him. And I was like, that's interesting. I always thought Mark was like, and then you think about it, and like they had 2 frontmen. Like bands don't usually have 2 frontmen, and that was,
Yeah.
I feel like, their downfall too.
There's another band I listen to called Alkaline Trio. And Matt Skiba, he's the new Tom DeLonge in Blink 182, which is kind of a bummer for me because I don't want to see him in Blink 182. I want to see him in Alkaline Trio.
Blink
I want to
182
see
has a new song out called Quarantine, and it's like so cheesy, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, dude, like you can't, because Matt Skiba's great, not in Blink 182, and he's one of my favorite people. I mean, I got Alkaline Trio's tattooed on my arm, but they're kind of the same way. They're a trio punk band. The bassist and the lead singer switch off on songs and sing both, but I remember hearing their version of Small Things, All the Small Things, and it's just like, dude, like, it was just awful.
I think it's cool that, like, this Blink 182 song is not that great. What is great, one called not Blood on the Leaves, but Wash Us in the Blood by Kanye. He released it like, I don't know, a month and a half ago. He's supposed to be releasing an album. Taylor Swift released an album. But what I think is cool is the people that are actually releasing shit during weird times like this. And like how I've seen a couple shows, even like Catfish. It's like the producers of that show still are doing work, and they did that show like completely remote, I guess, and they're releasing new episodes of completely remote. But I think it's cool that people are still releasing stuff and making work.
That documentary they said for Catfish was bullshit. They said it was like fake.
The original.
Yeah, what got him? What ended up getting him the show?
Well, it's still like, still happens.
yeah.
Still
I mean, it definitely
happens.
happens. But I think, they can only get so many people to want to get on camera to want to do that shit. And,
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I definitely watched it when I was younger and it came out and everything. I definitely watched some episodes, but I hate the fucking main guy. I hate the main guy so much. He's so annoying.
Yeah, he really is so annoying.
Like, I fucking hate this guy. I'm
Not
like,
as annoying.
no wonder you were Catfish, bro.
Not as annoying as the guy from Scarred, Papa Roach. Remember the show Scarred? They'd like fall. It was like just videos of people breaking their ankles. But
It was only on for like a season or two, right?
It was on for a little while, but the lead singer of Papa Roach, I can't remember his name, but
I don't know his name, but I remember when Last Resort and shit came out.
Yeah,
I was obsessed
great
with it.
song.
I was obsessed with it.
Still a great song.
They had some good riffs. My favorite song with them is Blood Brothers.
I was also listening to Kid Rock.
It was in Tony
still
Hawk's.
great.
It was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah,
Kid Rock, the CD with the middle finger on it. That was the first CD I ever got. It had like "Ball with the Ball" on it and everything.
Yeah.
That was the first CD I ever owned.
listening
My
to a
aunt
little
got it for me and my
Simple
cousin.
Plan. Simple Plan and Green Day, the songs that were on Madden and Rushing Attack.
First concert I ever went to, I was in 9th grade, I believe, and it was Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, and this other band called Autopilot Off, which was Autopilot Off's fucking awesome. They only did a couple albums, but
Autopilot Off.
they're fucking awesome. Super good pop punk band. But I remember I was like, oh my god, Simple Plan's amazing. Good Charlotte's amazing.
Yeah,
And
now
then
they're like so
and this
corny
was
to
like
listen to.
this was right before they both made it big on MTV and everything. And then they made it on MTV, and everybody was listening to him. So I did the usual punk thing and stopped listening to him. And then I went back and listened to him. I'm like, oh man, like they fucking suck.
Yeah.
I can't believe like I used
There's
to
like a
them.
nostalgia to it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a nostalgia to it. I did watch a little bit of 3:10 to Yuma also. That's a great movie.
The original or the one with Russell Crowe and
The new
Christian
one,
Bale?
Russell
Okay.
Crowe, Christian Bale.
Yeah, that was a big movie when it came out.
That one guy who's in
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster. He's crazy good.
He was in a Disney show called Fast Forward or something.
He's good.
Back in the day.
He's a good actor.
But yeah, dude, he's really good in that. He's in another one with what the fuck's the dude? Chris Pine. He's in another movie with Chris Pine where he plays like this. They play brothers, and Ben Foster's like the fucking dickhead brother,
Yeah.
and they're like outlaws or some shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But
He's a great actor.
Yes, Ben Foster's really good. I can see him,
Alpha Dog. He's
being
in Alpha
nominated
Dog.
at
He does a
least.
crazy good job.
he was in that World of Warcraft movie too.
I've never seen that.
He played a wizard. It was like
I gotta take a pee.
It's one of the
Gonna
worst
take a
movies
break.
ever. I think we're actually pretty much done, dude. We went through
All
this
right.
entire list.
I'm down with that.
That was a straight through, no break,
Yeah, I'm
solid
literally
podcast.
gonna pee my pants, so we're gonna wrap it up here.
We'll wrap it up. I'll get this posted tonight or tomorrow morning, probably tonight, Sunday, August 16th.
Yeah, check out the one with Eric. It's a good interview. You can find out a lot about that. We're gonna try and get a couple more interviews eventually.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep making episodes because it's been fun for us. So.
And if
stay
you're someone
tuned.
that's listening that you
Yeah.
feel you have a message that you want to get across,
Yeah.
and you want us to interview you, hell, reach out to us. We'll interview you.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff we could probably help you out with.
Yeah, and you could probably help us too, because like we're kind of doing this. We started from scratch, and we're kind of trying to show people how to do a podcast.
Definitely.
Trying to show us-
anything we can do to help the community.
Learn from our mistakes. No green hats on green
Yeah,
screens.
don't wear green hats on a green screen.
The hats were legit though. But thanks for listening in, guys. You guys take care. We'll see you next week.
Have
all
a
right.
great week.
Peace.